Okay, we're here with Jon Zieve today. And I came to Jon and really wanted to know about the mindset or mindsets that contribute to burnout. And Jon was gracious enough to ping me back and agree to get on a call. So it's great because Jon's got 34 years of sales and marketing experience now, almost half a decade under his belt in running his consultancy firm on defeating burnout. So happy to have you here, Jon.
Thanks. Look forward to it.
Yeah. So the mindsets, where are we at and what have you gained in insight around the mindsets that contribute
Yeah.
to burnout?
Well, we all know that attitude is everything, right? We know that intellectually, but we don't understand is it has everything to do with our body. So there's several mindsets that can contribute to burnout. The one that I see most is wanting to please others, wanting to over care for others, taking responsibility for others, and in some cases, unconsciously taking burdens from others. I see it a lot with people unconsciously doing this for their parents. So they grow up, there's some kind of trauma in the family, and without knowing, the son or the daughter is now responsible for the burden of the parents because they can't handle it emotionally.
Right.
And that type of stuff, you can do quite a bit to your body, but at some point the body is going to give you some signals of imbalance. And that's really what burnout is. I think burnout has a stigma. I know when I had it, I didn't want anyone to know I had it, which caused me to go within and kind of withdraw because I was ashamed. Wow, there's something fundamentally wrong with me that somehow I don't have what it takes to like push through and be like somebody else, right? But that works against us. That's a victim mentality that, oh, there's something wrong with me. No, I don't believe that. I actually believe burnout is here to help us. It's actually the best thing that could possibly happen to us because it's giving us feedback as to what's really going on inside. So it's a long answer to your question.
That's helpful, right? Yeah, because there's a significant redirecting that has to then happen in focus and care if there is awareness around that mindset and
Yeah.
awareness and true taking responsibility for making the change.
Yes.
Can you
Which
talk a
can be
little bit?
difficult.
Yeah.
Can be
Yeah. Yeah.
difficult.
Absolutely. Can you talk a
Yeah.
little bit about, based on your private practice experience, on what it really takes then,
Yeah.
if there is
Yeah.
acknowledgement on this journey of, well, maybe I have mentally or emotionally lacked some care and meticulousness, if you will, around my own experience.
Yeah. Taking responsibility is a tough one because we might not have learned that from the way we were raised. So it really, what I learned, the secret to what I learned about my own burnout was to trust my body, to truly trust it. That means anything that's going on in my body, I needed to listen to it and I needed to ask my body for answers. So what I do, and I'm a heart math coach, I'm not sure if you're familiar with heart math. Heart math is the science of the heart. So what I do with my coaching and my consulting is I teach people, I facilitate them learning how to go within, learning how to trust their body and to talk to it, to get answers. And I'm just facilitating their journey.
Hmm.
And once they get their aha moments, they then have the confidence to do this as a practice, as a lifestyle, to self-care and to change mindsets. Because there's a lot of reprogramming we have to do from not only our parents, but our ancestors.
Right.
Yeah.
Many layers to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a phase of taking responsibility in this type of work. And responsibility is just now, okay, I maybe should have to look into developing a new skill of where this other data is coming from. What prevents somebody from really understanding the gravity of it? Like, what is burnout typically disguised as on the different levels?
Yeah, I love that question because it is disguised.
That's the challenge. I think that
Yes.
was my challenge, was it was just hidden from me.
Yeah. Well, there's several things I've noticed. I don't think there's any right or wrong to this, but one thing is just relationships. Relationships are not necessarily healthy. So there's an imbalance in the relationships where one person is giving more than receiving, and one person is not receiving, and it's very unbalanced. There's a lot of defensiveness in relationships, and that can show up in personal relationships and in professional. Where if someone is in a lot of conflict at work, where there's defensiveness, that is just a great red flag. There's burnout involved. Another thing I notice is just aches and pains. The body is sending messages. It could be a lower back pain. It could be a knee pain. It could be shoulders. It doesn't really matter. But the body is talking. The body has a message, right? Inflexibility is a great signal. If someone is tight, that's a signal that energy is being used to restrict the actual body. Think of that. Think of how much energy is being used to be inflexible, right? Over time, that's gonna burn you out. It's almost like leaving apps on a phone, and if you have a lot of apps on, you're gonna burn out the battery. Well, if there's a lot of energy being used to defend yourself, to resist something within you that's who you truly are, that's going to burn a lot of energy. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about 26. I put on a shoe in the morning and pulled a muscle on my neck. I couldn't move my neck in sales meetings for a month. I spent a few $1,000s at the age of 26 being an athlete, working out. I've done yoga for 10 years. And this was really a peak for me, getting on a plane every week. I was just going a billion miles an hour, and that was a breakdown. You know, I saw it as a compartmentalized experience, right? As something not related to
Exactly.
the non-focused or holistic energy in my workspace. It was
Yes.
something else. And
Right.
I love your feedback, because to me, it paints this, it gives some awareness to the idea that our work issues or in our conflict on either side, in our interpersonal relationships and our work relationships, it is not a compartmentalized experience, right? It's all related to each other.
Yes. Everything, the way I like to think about it, is everything that's happening for us for a reason. And so if there's conflict, if there's frustration, is another one. Anyone who's really frustrated, that's a symptom of burnout. But whatever is going on around us, relationships, what's going on at work, how we get along with our boss, at home with parents, those are all reflections back to us about what we don't understand about ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you, Jon, for getting on the call. And I love our short clip on some of those questions. Hugely valuable. And yeah, thank you so much. So maybe we do this again sometime in the future.
Okay. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks so
Take
much.
care.